Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tarot CelebriTEA with your boy Ducky. Today, we are going to be reading cards for Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton. Yeah, someone requested that I read their cards, so that's what we're gonna do in today's video. So just remember, first and foremost, that these videos are for entertainment purposes. And why is that? That is because Luke Hemmings nor Sierra Deaton are here to confirm nor deny that what I'm seeing in the cards resonates with them or is not resonating with them. I am just using my own spiritual practice and knowledge and intuition to kind of relay what I'm seeing in the cards for y'all. So just remember to keep that in mind and remember to take everything that I say with a grain of salt or two. Yeah, so let's get ready for Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton. So from what I just Googled, I have them over here pulled up on my other monitor because I'm really bad with sometimes remembering names. So I just have them pulled up here. But I do know that Luke Hemmings is a singer-songwriter and Sierra Deaton is also a singer. So two singers, let's see how their vibe is, you know? Yeah. All right. Let's do it. I was going to say something else, but I was like, you know what? Maybe not. You know what? Yeah, I will. Yeah, I mean, from what I know and my own experience with singers, a lot of singers can have big personalities, and sometimes it's hard for them to be in partners with one another because they can clash. But also, there are sometimes there are some singers that I know who have gotten together and they work very well together. So I'm excited to see how the energy will play out here. Because I like to sing and I've always swore to myself, I'm like, yo, don't get with another singer because what if you're going to want to compete and stuff like that, or there's going to be some kind of jealousy involved, or something like that. But anyway, enough of my stuff. Let's get ready for Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton's reading. So let's just get a general energy for them right now. We got the Page of Stones in reverse, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Three of Arrows, jealousy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And the Moon in reverse. Okay. So remember how I was just 30 seconds ago talking about how there could be some jealousy involved sometimes between two creative people in a relationship. So I'm not laughing at them. I'm just kind of laughing at how the situation, how the cards came out in relation to what I had just said before pulling the cards. So I'm seeing here with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Page of Pentacles is normally, is a younger, more methodical person who wants to learn and wants to gain knowledge and wants to keep learning and growing. But in reverse, I feel like there's someone in this situation, maybe it might be the younger of the two, who seems to be a little bit more immature and kind of stays stagnant. They get stuck, or they stay not stuck, but just comfortable, and they don't really care to grow, care to improve, to get better. They're just you know what, I'm happy here, this is good, this is fine. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here with the first card showing up with the Page of Pentacles here in reverse. There's someone who gets comfortable too easily, and because the page is a younger energy, I want to guess it's going to be the younger person of the two between Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton. There's someone here who has a younger mentality and outlook on life, where they're just you know what, I just want to settle down, and once I settle down, that's good, I'm good with that, they get comfortable. And it seems like there's someone here that's gotten comfortable. And then with the Three of Arrows here, the Three of Arrows always talks about heartache. You even see it here, three arrows shot to the heart, and there's like flames ablazing. And here it says jealousy in the card. So there's a little bit of jealousy involved here. There's some like heartache. Someone's been hurt here in the situation, and there's some heartache. And also with the moon in reverse. Normally the moon can talk about, like there's so many feelings, there's a lot of depth to things, to the situation. But when this comes in reverse, it could talk about there's like some kind of like hidden motives, some hidden like meanings. It could also talk about there can be like some kind of like enemies, or people that aren't really like looking out for your best interest. So I don't think it's my place to say like, or to be like, oh, this person in this situation is like public enemy number one or anything like that. But I do feel like with the way that the cards are showing up, I do feel like there's someone here in the situation between Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton. There's someone in here that's gotten very comfortable, um, very stagnant, doesn't really care to like grow and improve and learn much. And maybe even learn and more about the other person. And so the other person may have like has probably gotten hurt and maybe is starting to kind of like look elsewhere, um for these like this lack of emotion and lack of interest that the other person has started to show. There's just like a lack of interest here, and it's caused some kind of like heartache, some kind of like jealousy involved, where they're maybe they're thinking like, oh, you're not paying attention to me much, like who's the other person. So there's something that's playing along with the emotions of the relationship, and there's some kind of like jealousy involved and some feelings of being hurt. And it's because like one or maybe even both people in this relationship have kind of like stopped trying. They've kind of stopped wanting to grow together and individually and getting to know each other as well as getting to know themselves. So that's what I'm seeing with those cards. All right, so let's do a little bit of Luke Hemmings' thoughts on Sierra. Let's see what cards show up and what Luke Hemmings thinks of Sierra currently. I know some people ask me, they're like, why do you do that? Like, why do you draw cards and like about someone else, but then talk about the other person? And I'm like, because that's just how I do things. Like, I just draw cards to see like what are their possible like thoughts on what on the other person, um, seeing it from their perspective. So let's see, what are Luke Hemmings' thoughts on Sierra Deaton? The Journey, the Death card in reverse. The Guardian, the Devil in reverse. And the Nine of Vessels, Generosity, Nine of Cups. Okay, and let's do Sierra Deaton's thoughts on Luke Hemmings. The Shaman, the Magician, the World, and the Green Woman, the Empress in reverse. Okay. And I'm gonna just look at my little book here just to make sure, because the names of these cards are a little bit different. So I'm just gonna make sure. Yeah, that's the Death card, and yep, the Devil in reverse. All right, so let's get started. Also, I hope y'all don't mind the lighting of today's video. I was just feeling the vibe, so I turned on my black light. So I hope y'all are enjoying this vibe as well, as much as I am. So in regards to Luke Hemmings' thoughts on Sierra Deaton, I honestly, even before, like, with the first set of cards, I did feel like maybe Sierra was the one that was starting to get a little bit comfortable in the relationship. Um, and this is kind of reconfirming for me because we got the death card in reverse and we got the devil here in reverse in regards to what does Luke Hemmings think of Sierra Deaton. And with the death card in reverse, it's this talks about like there needs to be some change, like there needs to be some kind of change happening, because the death card is always all about transformation, um, changing from one aspect or one big chapter in your life to another, just like a lot of immense transformation, especially like spiritual and an emotional transformation. Now, when this comes in reverse, this talks about there needs to be a transformation that needed to happen a while back ago. Um, so it seems like Luke Hemmings thinks that like Sierra, it's hard for her to like get motivated to keep on improving and growing and changing and transforming, and blossoming. Like sometimes she just gets like stuck in these ruts, and she needs to let go of that. Like we also got the devil here in reverse. Now the devil can talk about like um, lust and greed and being chained to things. But in reverse, I'm getting the sense of like feeling liberated, getting liberated. I feel like Luke Hemmings thinks that Sierra just needs to like free herself more, like free herself from emotional thoughts and patterns that she's had that keep her stuck, and she needs to start making a change, because he thinks highly of her. Like we got the Nine of Cups here. Like the Nine of Cups talks about emotional pleasure. Like he he feels very emotionally pleased with Sierra, but it just seems like we got this card and we got the death card, which are both like water. Like death is ruled by Scorpio, and the suit of cups is all about water. And then the devil card is ruled by Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So I just feel like Luke Hemmings thinks Sierra is like it pleases him very much emotionally, and I feel like he just wishes that she would see more of that within herself as well, um because it just seems like she just gets stuck with her emotions and is unwilling to like change and transform and blossom and keep on growing and upgrading, and again blossoming. um and so like he feels she just needs to liberate herself. That's what I'm seeing. um and then on the other side, we have Sierra Deaton, her thoughts in regards to Luke Hemmings. Like, she thinks he's the magician, the shaman, like an absolute, like, he's great at everything he does. Sierra Deaton believes that he's, like, just an absolute, like, magical being, like, he's anything he puts his mind to, he can create magic with, and he's very confident in his abilities, and she thinks the world of him. We also got the world tree. Like she thinks that he's able to like accomplish and finish anything that he begins. Like we got the magician, which is all about like a great manifester and like great at beginning things, and then we literally got the last card of the major arcana, the world. So she thinks like anything he starts he's able to finish, and she just thinks the absolute world of him. Now, we also got the Empress card in reverse. Now, the Empress card in reverse is all about feeling a little bit smothering. Like, so it seems like he has a lot of love for Sierra Deaton, and I feel like she believes that maybe sometimes he just kind of like smothers her like with too much love. Like sometimes he like embraces her too much, or it's just very lovey-dovey, and sometimes it can kind of feel her or have her maybe feeling a little bit constricted. But other than that, she thinks like so highly of him. So that's interesting to see that, like, again, like to recap, Luke Hemmings thinks Sierra like really pleases him emotionally, and he just wishes like she could see that within herself, so she could let go of any like emotional like hardships that are like weighing her down and are causing her to not like free herself and continue growing and improving. And then to recap, we got Sierra Deaton thinks that like anything that Luke begins, he's able to like accomplish and finish successfully. And he has a lot of love to give, and sometimes that love can be a little bit like constricting, um, and it may be a little bit overly protecting. But other than that, like that's kind of all I'm seeing with those cards. Now let's get some advice for Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton. So I'll just draw like 2 cards for them individually, and then like maybe 1 or 2 for like them as a partner, as a partnership, as a pair. All right, so let's get some advice for Luke, the shaman. You know what? I haven't used the oracle card, so let me get an oracle card. Pellinor. Okay, okay. Let's get some advice for Sierra Deaton. The devil in reverse again. Wow, interesting. Peles? I don't know. All right. So let's start here, and then I'll draw some cards for both of them. So let me look up in my little book here for these cards. Pellinor. I'm still learning these. It's interesting. Like she got Pelly's, which is this card, and then the next card is his card. So perseverance, honor, strength. Okay. So yeah. Let me look at hers as well. Woundedness, focus, attention. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Like the dots are all connecting. So we got the magician here and Pellinor. And so it seems here like the advice for Luke Hemmings is like he's a great manifester and great at like starting things and anything he does, he just puts his mind to. But this being like about like strength and like protecting, I feel like the advice for him is that like sometimes he needs to like let other people do things on their own and learn how to do things on their own, and not always feel like he needs to always be protecting and being the one there to like hold people's hand and guide them along their path and stuff like that. Sometimes he just needs to let people do their own thing and learn at their own pace and like make realizations at their own accord on their own account. So that's his advice. Now the advice for Sierra Deaton with the Devil card and Pellies, like this is all about woundedness and emotional hurt. She needs to start looking at the brighter sides of life and brighter things that happened with her emotions, like this little guy's on a boat, and there's like water, which is all about emotions, and then I'm seeing the sun, which is representative of joy. She needs to free herself again with this devil card showing up in reverse. She needs to start liberating herself of these wounded feelings that she has of herself, and she needs to start thinking highly of herself and more positive in regards to how she feels in regards to herself, because she's feeling very restricted, and she limits herself. So, all right, we'll just put these here and let's draw some advice cards for them together as a pair. The Ace of Stones, the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Arrows, the Page of Swords in reverse, the Five of Stones, and Dendrain. This is all about like relighting that fire, regaining that spark again. Because there are a lot of emotions here between the two of them, and the advice for them is to find a way to rebuild that solid foundation that they have with the Ace of Pentacles here. They need to rebuild a solid foundation as a couple, and in order to renew this spark that they have, because there's a lot of feelings. See here how like how they're holding on to this little necklace on their chest, and they got an ember here. Like they just need to reignite that spark. They need to know that no one can diminish any inner fire that they have individually, nor as a pair. And they just need to like have trust again, like have that solid foundation of trust, that'll reignite the spark. Also, what I'm seeing here with this Page of Swords in reverse with the Five of Pentacles, sometimes like both of them can feel a little bit like left out, feeling a little bit like the other one's not returning the emotions or something like that. Or maybe they just feel a little bit hurt. They feel left out. And a lot of the times they feel left out or hurt whenever one party or one person of the relationship starts talking about the other to their friends. So like, for example, like Luke Hemmings talks about Sierra Deaton to his friends rather than talking to Sierra about what he's thinking, you know, or vice versa. Like maybe Sierra goes to her friends or her family and talks about Luke Hemmings and all about like what's on her mind in regards to him. And they don't find out about this until later and they end up feeling hurt. So the advice for them is to like really acknowledge their thoughts, really talk things out together thoroughly, build that solid foundation in regards to communication again. And that'll help them rebuild that like fire and rebuild that trust and that solid foundation that they have, because right now it seems like they are going through a little bit of a tough time. And there are some feelings of being like hurt and feeling a little bit like cold or left out in the cold, and they just need to really bring back that that foundation of trust and communication, because they're not communicating with one another in regards to like their thoughts and stuff, and that's really causing some kind of like feelings of like, oh my gosh, are they talking about me? Are they gossiping about me? What are they saying to their friends? Stuff like that. And so they just really need to communicate more with one another in regards to what they think of each other and the situation and their connection. But also, again, like Luke Hemmings needs to let Sierra figure some things out on her own, because again, she does feel like he's a little bit too constricting and a little bit too loving sometimes, and it makes her feel like it's not helping her become like an individual, you know. She doesn't want to become codependent, and so he needs to learn how to let people just kind of do their own thing, go at their own pace. And also, like, her advice is she just needs to think more highly of herself, especially like in regard emotionally. She's very down on herself, and that keeps her feeling very constricted and restricts her from improving and blossoming like this lotus flower. So that's it for me. Feel free to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Let me know what you thought of the video and some suggestions on whose cards I should possibly read next. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna do every single one that's suggested, but you know, like if it's one that I haven't done in a while or I haven't done at all, for sure, maybe most likely I'll definitely do it. But if it's one of like, do Camila Cabello, I'm like, yo, I already did like two, so you know, that won't happen for like some time, unless like I get done with everything on my videos or on my to-do list and I got nothing else to do, then maybe I'll do it. But you know, feel free to give me a thumbs down if you did not like the video, and if you didn't like the video, feel free to also give me some constructive criticism why you didn't like it. And that's it for me. Remember to love and respect yourselves and others. Stay hydrated. Do whatever you need to do to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, baby. And that's it. I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.